Good afternoon, guys. My name is Sowmya Iyer. I'm the CEO, founder of DViO Digital. We are one of the largest integrated marketing companies, and I'm very happy to be on Social Samosa Live today, and happy to talk you guys through how you go about choosing your marketing partner. So bring on the questions. Thank you. Okay, so my first question is with the very definition of marketing changing. An agency or a marketing partner has changed. In the current scenario, how do you describe a client-agency relationship? Okay, so I think it's worthwhile to first look at how is the landscape changing, right? I see that it's moving towards what you call as an outcome economy, where brands and businesses are willing to pay for the end result versus simply paying for the service or the product, which means that the partners you're engaged with need to be very deeply engaged with you. They need to know the industry or the sector that you're working in. They need to know the consumer insights very well. They need to be able to define the issue or the objective that you need to go after for your brand. And they need to also have that big idea come up and then see you through the implementation of that big idea through the various channels that are available, and then finally measure the impact. Now, going this 6 yards of, right, from knowing about the industry and the sector through impact measurement, the depth of engagement that you need with your partner is very, very high. So I think we've sort of moved away from even calling ourselves an agency, because by definition, agencies, when you sort of just represent, a business or a brand, you represent a business or a brand to a third party. Now that term, I think, came when media was the core function of agency. We moved to become a consultant plus an implementation partner. So at DViO, we don't call ourselves an agency anymore. And I think it's true for a lot of marketing partners out there, where we are being deep, high-level consultants to our brands, and then also seeing you through the implementation. Now, if you look at the implementation ecosystem, it's a fairly complex ecosystem, right? Because when you talk about digital, you are planning for different channels, you're creating content and creatives for different channels, you're creating vertical videos, you're actually creating content for stories. So beyond the big idea, how are you sort of navigating this complex digital ecosystem to make sure that the message is delivered through these various channels in the most impactful way? So to be able to do this, I think the partnership with the marketing partners has to be very deep, and this would also mean that the investments that are required by the businesses and brands with the marketing partners is high. So I always look at investment in marketing as something that you're investing in your future. You're investing in the future of your business. And one of the challenges I know that most marketing companies face today is, there is a price war. This is also a business which perhaps has the lowest entry barrier. So, there's always a price war out there in the market. But my question to my clients is usually just this, right? I ask them, when you go to a doctor, would you rather go to the cheapest doctor, or would you go to a doctor that can treat you well? Similarly, look at any professional service for that matter. Look at lawyers, or look at any consultant that you would go to. Would you just go for the cheapest, or would you go to somebody who's going to take care of or solve your problem? And I think it's got to be even more so for your business, right? So when you choose a partner, remember that this is an investment in the future of your business, and you want to get it right. So so I think per se, the shift has happened where agencies are not going to be agencies anymore. They are going to be your growth partners if you choose so, and they will be offering growth as a service. And I think that's the major shift that's happened in the landscape today. My next question is, what kind of a role do tools play in branded marketing ecosystem? Can tools be a good replacement for agency consultant in that sense? I think there is a intervention of technology at each level of the 6 steps that I mentioned. When you want to know more about the industry, there can be data that can support you, and there'll be tools and technologies that can support you. But somebody has to analyze this data, right? And I think you need a consultant to do that. You need a marketing partner to do that. So per se, tools and technologies can never be a replacement. They can only be enablers. Technology can only be an enabler. Like I said, tech is infused at every level, whether it's the industry data level, at the idea level. In fact, sometimes the idea itself can be best delivered through technology. Whether you talk about virtual reality, immersive experiences, AR, some of these chatbots for the last mile delivery. So chatbots can be used very interestingly for making sure that the last mile sales are AI driven and very effective. So technology is infused at every level, but per se, technology can just never take over the role of a consultant. You need somebody to tell you how to deploy that technology, and I think that's where your marketing partner comes into play. Having said that, use and deployment of technology at each of these levels is very, very important to make sure that it's effective. Okay, I'm waiting for my next question. Okay, so I have a next question which asks, with more and more brands taking up agencies for single campaigns or going the consultant route, do you think the trend of agency retainer is dying? And do agencies stand at loss when it comes to consultants? Okay, now let's look at why this can happen, right? This can happen because it's likely that the brand or the business has a marketing team in-house. So the entire marketing function is in-house, and it's the marketing team that is driving the business goals for this business or brand. And they are looking at hiring a partner for their specific skill sets. So it could be just the SEO function, or it could be simply just the creative function, or it could be simply the social media management or community management function. So this is a scenario in which the marketing departments may be reaching out only for a specific requirement or a project. In the second scenario, it could be that the partner who's on a retainer with them, there is a sense of complacency. Maybe there are not enough new ideas coming in, and so they work with different partners to make sure that there's freshness in the creative execution, in the campaign ideas, etc. Right? So in the first case, I think it's fair that you are engaging with a partner for a specific skill set, because you're not making them responsible for the numbers. In fact, you're giving them the specifics of what needs to be executed as well, because you're the one driving the KPIs and the numbers as a marketing department. So and there could be many motivations, as I see, for businesses to in-house their marketing function. It could be dictated by the budget. It could be dictated by the volume of work that you guys do. It could also be dictated by economics. Primarily, if you think that in-housing the marketing function is going to be far more efficient and economical for you, you might want to do that. Though the word of caution over there is that typically when marketing departments are in-house, then they are not enough exposed to what's happening in the industry. As I think marketing partners and agencies, you're almost pushed to know what's happening, what's new in the industry. You have cross-industry knowledge that can come in, to help better the marketing effectiveness. In the second scenario, where you work with marketing partners on small. Okay, am live? I think I just lost connection for a couple of seconds. So in the second scenario where you see that you're reaching out to your other marketing partners because you see that the agency on record or the marketing partner on record is somebody who's got complacent and is not coming up with new ideas. Now that's a situation that you really don't want to be in as a marketing partner. To circumvent this issue, what we have done at DViO is we have initiated a process called the DViO pod, where we meet every week to reimagine all the brands that we work with, and we almost push our clients to to ask for a repitch, if I may say so, where and we work on those brands like as if you're working for their competitor. So it's almost reimagined every 6 months, every 1 year, because it's a very, very dynamic landscape that we are working in. We push ourselves to reimagine the brands that we are working with, and we go and present it to our clients so that there's absolutely no room for any jadedness or complacency that comes in. On the other hand, also it may sound a little counterintuitive to marketing companies, but what we do encourage, if you cannot put in that sort of a rigid process to make sure that you're reinventing for the brands, we do encourage that do not extend your relationship with the marketing partner beyond two years, or max 3 years, because you need to go through that, because both of you have grown in a certain direction, and you need to go through that churn to probably come back together and work with each other. So at DViO also, we are perfecting the model of making sure that we have delivered for our partners what we had to, what we have committed for 2 years or 3 years, and then sort of almost letting them go to the next level, maybe finding the right partner for them, also helping them find the right partner going forward, or else we make sure that we have completely reinvented ourselves to deliver for that particular brand. Okay, I think I have a whole bunch of questions which I couldn't see earlier. Can you share an example of a brand marketing partner relation that has flourished over years? Yes, I can share some of DViO's partners who have flourished over the years. We worked with earlier it used to be called Reliance Mutual Fund, and now Nippon India Mutual Fund. Through the last 4 years, in fact, we have seen them through their journey from being a Reliance Mutual Fund to a Nippon India Mutual Fund. We have helped them through the entire journey. We've had a brilliant relationship with the Star Network as well. So we've last more than 3 years, we've worked with the Star Network. We work with W, which is the apparel brand. Aurelia, Wishful. These are all brands that have been very successfully, nurtured, built through a very, very strong partnership. So what advice would you give to a copywriter? So I think copy is a skill that needs a lot of finesse. And as a marketing company, we recruit copywriters all the time, and unfortunately, if you're writing a blog, or if you just write a few lines here and there, you qualify yourself, or you think you are a copywriter. But I think copywriting and content writing is a very, very deep job. It's your language is the single largest channel or medium through which you can get through to the people. So one thing that I've realized at DViO is that copywriting requires a lot of maturity. The finesse that is required in copywriting is something that comes from slightly more experienced writers. So while we are a very young company, while probably the average age of people working at DViO is not more than 30, we have now strategically started looking at older writers, authors who can come on board with us to write for our clients. Yeah, Aishwarya asks me why are there so few long-running relationships like Fevicol and Ogilvy, and I think I answered that question in my with the previous question, where if you are somebody who can reinvent for the businesses that you're working with, not get complacent, like I said, we push our clients to almost ask for a repitch so that we can reimagine their brands, then you stand a chance to have a long-lasting relationship. Oh, I don't agree to the agency being exposed to industry, internal marketing teams not. No, I'm not saying that I'm not making a generic statement there at all. I work with a lot of brands, who have in-house marketing teams and actually use our services for some specialty services like creative. They have come up to me and probably asked me to conduct a workshop or talk to them about what's happening out there in the world. So I think you can completely model yourself in a way that you get trained, you get exposed to different environments, different technology time and again. I think it's completely up to the businesses that you're working with on how they are exposing you to what's happening out there in the world. People are knowing we are promoting ourselves on paid. Think about comedy. Sarthak asks, there has been a long-standing debate about AI replacing human creativity. Do you think that is possible? No, it's far from possible. I think creativity is you can get data, you can find patterns, you can find a lot of information, but creativity is that esoteric almost element that can be generated only through a human brain. So I think AI will make a lot of tasks mundane. And I think human beings will be subject to working on higher order stuff, which is a great thing because you're not investing your time and effort and your skills on doing the mundane stuff. I don't see that AI can ever replace human brain or creativity. What advice would you give to students who want to take advertising as their profession? I think it's really one of the most exciting professions to be in, because being in advertising helps you influence and shape the world. You really have the power to shape the way the world thinks. And it's a very, very responsible situation to be in as well. But again, you're exposed to so many industries. Like I was saying in the first part of my talk, you need to have in-depth understanding of almost every business. And that sort of really hones your brain, hones your skill sets in a way that it's not difficult for you to understand any business after that. So I think it's a very exciting place to be in. And if you truly want to contribute to shaping the way world thinks, this is a place to be in. Okay, so okay, so my next question asks me, what are the factors that brands need to keep in mind before scouting for an agency? I think my advice would be, first, don't look for an agency, look for a partner, look for a consultant come implementation partner, somebody who is very well integrated with your business or brand. Now, see, there are two scenarios in which you could be looking for a partner. One is you're completely driving the marketing of your business or brand. So your marketing function is in-housed in that sense, and you are recruiting a specialist partner just to deliver that function for you. In which case, I think it's pretty straightforward. You're driving the numbers, you're driving the KPIs, you give specifics to that partner on what needs to be done, and you're responsible for driving the numbers. And then, of course, you pay a premium, for that specialist skill set. So I think it's a very, very clear thing, whatever skill set you're looking for, just go for the best in that skill set. In a second scenario where you want a growth partner, you want somebody who can really be a partner with you to drive the business numbers. I would think at the pitch stage itself, co-create or collaborate with your potential partner to set out the parameters for success, to set out KPIs. What is social media today without being able to create a business impact? What is SEO today without being able to create a business impact? What is creativity today without being able to create a business impact, right? So talk to your partner about what is it going to mean to be able to measure those KPIs. How will you measure creativity? What will be your parameters to measure creativity? What will be your parameters to measure business impact, right? And see how those conversations go. I think that will give you a sense of whether your partner understands the industry, whether your partner understands the business that you're in, or whether they understand the concerns of the business that you're in. And I think that should really be your your main measurement yardsticks on whether this will be the right partner for you. I'm just looking up my next question. What, according to you, has changed in the expectation of client with advent of technology and its fast changing scene? I think your clients want you to be abreast of all the new technology that is there in the market, how the implementation or adoption of that technology for their business can impact their business. And like I said, for marketing partners like us to really be at the top of the game is very important. So towards that, in fact, one of the very structured initiatives that I took was I started an incubator for ad tech and marketing tech companies, where I go all over the world every year to recruit ad tech and marketing tech startups, so that I know the game. I'm completely clued in on all the new tech that's happening, and also connecting these technology platforms with the clients that we're working with. So I think to really stay on top of the game on what's coming out there in the world and how it can help the businesses that you're working with is very important. Okay, my next question is, a number of agencies have recently consolidated their specialist wings under one brand, while others continue to acquire agencies with newer skills. Do brands now prefer one-stop shops instead of specialist mandates? I think if you are a business or brand who's looking at partnering for the sake of if you're looking at an in-depth partner, if you're looking at somebody who can help you grow the numbers, then yes, you would want a one-stop shop. And that's what I was mentioning earlier in my talk, where I said that we've become growth advisors to clients. Many marketing partners have become growth advisors to clients instead of just offering specialist services, because you want to be responsible for the numbers. We are the landscape, like I said, I repeat, is changing to become an outcome economy, which means that the businesses will pay for the end result and not just for the product or service. Now, in a scenario like that, you're going to have multiple partners, working on the marketing function. To be able to really assign, the responsibility becomes difficult. And it, you could be a great creative partner, you could be a great SEO agency, you could be a great performance agency, but at the end of the day, if all of that doesn't come together to create that business impact that the clients are looking for, it makes no sense whatsoever. Like I said, in scenarios where the marketing teams, the marketing function is in-house and you're looking for that specific skill set, it might make sense to have a specialist. But if you're looking at a partner to help you grow your numbers, who's sort of really a partner with you and integrated with your business, then having a single roof makes sense. And for some of the businesses who may be actually very good at certain functions, but want to actually partner businesses in their growth story, I would suggest collaborate. There are so many specialist agencies who can come together with you to deliver services for the client. Take responsibility, have a single window of responsibility, and one of the best ways to go about it is to collaborate. I think I have covered most of the questions now. Yeah, so there's another question which asks me, what should the agencies keep in mind before pitching to a new client? One, I think equally while the client is evaluating you for what you can deliver for them, you need to evaluate whether whether the client is structured in a way that you can most effectively deliver for that client. A lot of a lot of variables play out over here. One is what is the structure of what is the team structure, and what are the skill sets and the capabilities of of the people at the client end. I think it makes sense to have an open discussion with the client on who's going to be evaluating what. Are you looking at us as partners and giving us the freedom to deliver the numbers, or you're going to have a certain sort of approval matrix through which the entire work needs to go through? I think those discussions become very critical because, like I said, when the responsibility is with the partner to deliver numbers, making sure that both of you are create a modus operandi, create a working model in a way that you can effectively deliver. So setting those expectations right with the client at the very beginning definitely helps. Secondly, I would say be very transparent. Don't overpromise. With the advent of digital, I know that many of the agencies have gone out and overpromised on numbers, and I think that has also impacted our businesses really badly. There's almost loss of faith, so to say, in digital because there is an overpromise. So don't overpromise. Be transparent. And win the business on the merit of really knowing the industry. And I would also say that to value yourself well. I mean, if you are a partner who's going to help deliver for the business, you're going to help the future of the business or brand that you're working with, then value yourself well enough to make sure that you get the best people on the job. Great. So I think I have covered most of the questions. Some I couldn't answer, but I'll be happy to send individual replies to Social Samosa on the questions that I haven't taken up. It's 3:30 now, and I think I need to end my session. It was lovely talking to all of you. Thank you, Social Samosa. I enjoyed being on this live. I hope this information helped.